Right now at noon, a sex offender given parole. Less than 1 month later, he's now an absconder. We'll have the details on the wanted man.
And we've got those clear skies, sunny conditions, warm out there. Warm conditions will continue. We're going to have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, today is World Mental Health Day. We'll give you some tips to improve knowledge, raise awareness, and drive actions that promote and protect everyone's mental health as a universal human right.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, an apartment building burns in Neosho as the vacant structure was listed on the dangerous buildings list. Just after 11 a.m. Monday, reports of a structure fire in the 700 block of McCord alerted Newton County Central Communications. Neosho Fire, Neosho Police, and Newton County Ambulance responded. Police reported that the building was fully involved. On scene, Neosho Fire Chief Aaron Hauk tells us that the small apartment building was vacant. It is actually on their dangerous buildings list, and he noted that the building still had electricity service. Active flames were out within 15 minutes of arrival, and the building tucked behind 2 others was totally gutted by the fire. It appears to be 4 small apartments within 1 building. No firefighters were injured and no one was found inside. Neosho Fire is still investigating the cause of the fire. A sex offender who was given parole and less than 1 month later, he's now an absconder. City of Parsons authorities and Labette County released an alert Monday regarding a man wanted as an unregistered sex offender. Stephen Montreal Dunn was paroled to an address in Parsons, Kansas at the end of August 2023. However, he has failed to check in and register. Dunn is listed as a parole absconder as of September 21st, 2023. Felony warrants have been issued for his arrest, and upon release on parole, part of his requirements were to register as a sex offender in the county where he told authorities he'd reside. Dunn is required to register for life on the sex offender registry from a conviction in 2017 for the rape of a victim less than 14 years old in Montgomery County, Kansas.
And we've got a warm and sunny day out there for us. I mean, it's not as warm as it probably could be, but it's also not half bad out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. As you can see from this view, nothing but clear skies out there. Now, yesterday, we started the day at 48, so a little closer to normal, only a couple of degrees below, made it up to 74, only a degree above. One of the most average days we've had all year because, as you know, here in the 4 states, average doesn't really mean much. It's just what we're preparing to go by, essentially. But hey, not doing too bad. Quick look outside. MoDOT camera 20th in range line in Joplin. Clear skies there. Sun is shining in abundance in Pittsburgh, both sitting at 70 degrees right now. So again, pretty decent start to our Tuesday here in the 4 states. So still looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through the afternoon. And we could still see a few isolated showers primarily in our northern counties. We're talking along and north of Highway 54 this evening. And then again, another potential round of an isolated shower or 2 overnight, primarily in southwest Missouri, but about 95% of us should remain dry. But again, don't worry, more rain is on the way. We've got storms Thursday evening and temperatures falling again. So of course, don't forget to download the KOAM Skywatch weather app. It's in your favorite app store, the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And we have basically the entire Skywatch weather team in the palm of your hand. We're going to have more on your forecast and exactly what happens with our temperatures this week here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, after decades of work, a museum honoring veterans and other heroes is about to open in Joplin. The museum is the result of a labor of love by Claire Swadish, who served 21 years in the United States Marine Corps. He wanted a way to honor and remember not just members of the 4 branches of the military, but police officers and firefighters as well. He began work on the museum back in '91. He's now 72 years old, and Swadish will open the museum to the public this month. Swadish says that the museum will feature memorabilia and tributes and shares the experiences of families.
I hope they can understand and feel a little bit about what the families go through. Not only the ones serving, but their actual families that are at home.
The museum will be open on October 28th. It's located at 2055 Old 66 Boulevard in Joplin. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Israel continued to bombard Gaza Tuesday in retaliation for Saturday's attack. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu makes clear Israel's response is just beginning. And later, we're making Southwestern pork chops in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. Israelis took shelter in bunkers Tuesday as air raid sirens went off around Tel Aviv, even as Israel's military says that it has regained effective control over its south and the border. More than 1,600 people on both sides have been killed since the surprise Hamas attacked on Saturday. The Biden administration says at least 11 Americans are among the dead, and some may be Hamas hostages. We want to warn our viewers that some of the material in this report is graphic. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Newly released dashcam footage shows Hamas gunmen firing at a vehicle fleeing the music festival in the desert Saturday. Militants killed at least 260 young Israeli and foreign partygoers at the rave, while others were taken hostage. Israeli police released video Monday appearing to show its forces rescuing trapped civilians and wounded soldiers under heavy gunfire in southern Israel. Israel continued to bombard Gaza Tuesday in retaliation for Saturday's attack. The Israeli Defense Force says it has hit more than 200 targets. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made clear Israel's response is just beginning.
We will exact a price that will be remembered by them and Israel's other enemies for decades to come.
Last night, Hamas released an audio message threatening to kill a hostage every time Israel bombs Palestinian civilians without warning. The Biden administration says at least 11 Americans have been killed in the violence so far, and some missing U.S. citizens could be among the hostages.
We have offered assistance in the scope of experts, hostage recovery experts that we'd be willing to have coordinate with Israeli officials.
On Israel's northern border with Lebanon, there have also been deadly exchanges of artillery fire with the Hezbollah militant group. A senior American defense official says the U.S. is deeply concerned about the possibility of that becoming a second front in this conflict. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden and Vice President Harris are planning to speak today with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss the U.S. support for Israel. And October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and today we are raising awareness about 1 in 8 people globally living with mental health conditions. In the daily rat race, it can be hard to remember to take a moment for yourself, and one campaign out of the UK is urging people to slow their eyes and reflect, all in the name of mental health. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Wrangling 2-year-old Cole takes all of Daryl Baker's attention. As you can imagine, finding time for herself is hard.
I have felt like sometimes you are drowning when I became a mum.
Then Daryl took a moment.
Just closing your eyes and shutting the noise out.
Yeah, of course. Laura Jorno-Leggett and Ray Burmiston created the campaign during the dark days of COVID.
It's that moment we all need in the everyday. Close your eyes, disconnect, reconnect, and come back to the room.
Encouraging people to stop, close their eyes for a little self-care.
People who literally said, I know, you saved my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to do something today and I'm no longer going to do it. That's how powerful it can be.
Dozens of celebrities have lent their famous faces to the cause, like actors Idris Elba and Brian Cox, and musicians Adam Lambert and Brian May from Queen.
Adam was really into it. Brian knew nothing about the project, and he was really particular about getting a portrait that conveyed what he was feeling.
But it's not just the rich and famous peering down at London's National Portrait Gallery.
It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity, it doesn't matter who, a child, an adult, an older person, all of us will experience that moment of disconnect every day.
It was like someone threw a life jacket in. Being reminded to not lose myself, it changes everything. It changes your outlook, it changes how you parent. I think you're more present.
Because no one is immune from mental health issues, everyone is encouraged to stop and take a moment. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Who needs to buy those fancy and costly meal kits when you can whip up an easy and flavorful dinner in no time? That's budget-friendly too.
But first, we have got, again, a beautiful day ahead of us today. We've got warm and breezy conditions ahead of thunderstorm chances. We're going to look at all of that in your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we have got a beautiful, perfect, almost textbook fall day across the 4 states. We're going to be a little warmer today than where we have been lately. And then we've got that possibility of a stray isolated shower too. So take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Way off up there. We've got a few isolated showers out in parts of central Kansas, to be honest with you. And that's what we're talking about. These develop, or if we see more along this area, these are really going to skirt our northern counties, roughly along and north of Highway 54. And that'll be a little later this evening if they manage to get going. Now, the future track, we've talked about this before. It's painting a picture of where rain is possible. This isn't a widespread rain event as we head into the evening. It's simply highlighting that we could see some rain showers out there as we head into the evening tonight. And we might even see a rain shower or two for us, or a rumble of thunder on Wednesday. But here comes Thursday, late night into the overnight and Friday morning. That's when we've got this cold front. And you can tell the cold front not just by the rain, but by the wind arrows, where that sucker is and where the low pressure system is that's attached to that. And that's what's going to be bringing us our chances for some thunderstorms across the area for Thursday night into Friday morning. It's going to be a little more widespread, still scattered across the area, but a few more thunderstorm chances as we head Thursday night into Friday. As such, there is a low to elevated risk, and you can see it's just barely clipping our northern areas here, northwestern counties, as we head into Thursday. So we'll keep an eye on this, of course. That it could change, this could expand, it could be reduced, it could be removed, but we, at least at this point, this far out, have that chance for maybe a couple of strong storms Thursday into Friday, with the potential for some small hail and gusty winds. But again, we'll keep a close eye on that for you. As of today, though, not much to keep an eye on. Clear skies, MoDOT camera 32nd and range line, plentiful sunshine from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520 at south of Pittsburgh. And there's a few stray clouds from our camera at 7th and range line in Joplin. We're currently sitting at 70. Feels like 70. Dry air mass, though. Low dew points, low humidity. East-southeast breeze at 10. Crossing over to Pittsburgh, looking great. Also at 70. Also a dry air mass. Southeast breeze at about 8. Around the area, this wind is going to switch out of the south as we go into tonight and tomorrow, and it's going to get blustery. But again, US 65 and west, a bit warmer. 75 Neodesha, 74 Independence Parsons, 70 in Fort Scott, 71 Miami, 70 Neosho, and 69 Carthage, Lamar, and Nevada. So again, for the rest of today, mid-upper 70s out there. Again, so our western counties a pinch warmer. We'll see a few additional clouds and that chance for an isolated shower or two. Then we head into tonight and the wind starts to pick up. It's going to be southeast. That says C, but you understand what we're talking about. Southeast, 5 to 15, gusting to 25. Overnight lows a little warmer too, mid to upper 50s under partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, though, that south breeze picks up 10 to 20, gusting to 30. And on Thursday, ahead of the storms, that south breeze gusting to 35. So fire danger increases because, as you saw in the currents, we got a pretty dry air mass in place for the time being. Otherwise, partly cloudy tomorrow, pushing near 80. As we look down the road, again, about 80 on Thursday, and a gradual cool down between Thursday and Friday with this system. So our high of 67 Friday, that's going to come early, and then temperatures will gradually begin to fall through the day. We'll hang out in the low 60s all the way through Tuesday, warming up by the middle of next week, more pop-up storm chances. And we want to remind folks, on Saturday, you're going to want to bundle up a bit because we have the solar eclipse that's going to be happening, and we'll have more information on that tomorrow morning on the KOAM Morning News.
I'm looking forward to that one. Thank you, Chris. Well, stick around because we're making Southwestern pork chops in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Today he's making a dish that's a fave among the Mr. Food crowd because there's no mess and tons of good flavor. The best part? This meal is as budget-friendly as it gets. It's called Southwestern pork chops. Take a look.
As you know, we love chatting with you on Facebook and reading your comments on our website. So when we noticed that several of you have asked us to make more skillet main dish dinners, we got right on it. Today, I'm introducing you to our newest skillet dinner with a Southwestern flair. And it comes together in no time. We start by pounding a few boneless pork chops between some plastic wrap until they're thin. Now, we season them with salt and pepper and dip them in some milk and then into some seasoned breadcrumbs. Just make sure you pat the breading on really well so it sticks while it cooks. Then we cook these in batches in some vegetable oil. Once they're all cooked, in the same skillet, we saute some garlic and onion until they're tender. To that, we add some corn, accented with some red pepper, and a bit of cilantro, if you'd like. Once this is hot, we place the cutlets back in the skillet and top the whole thing with a Mexican cheese blend before finishing it off with a squeeze of lime. Talk about flavorful. And since we cook the whole thing in one skillet, cleanup is a breeze. To get the recipe for what we call our Southwestern pork chops, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with Kelly, where today we found an easy skillet way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Try that. Get some of it.
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at the 4th state market prices.
Warm today, again, mid-upper 70s out there, maybe a stray shower or two. Breezy Wednesday and Thursday, gusts 30, even 35 miles an hour. A couple of strong storms possible Thursday into Friday, keeping an eye on that for you, near 80. Then we cool down. We're back in the lower 60s heading into the weekend, and next week, with another stray shower possible on Monday. Of course, again, we want to remind you, the eclipse coming up this Saturday. Looking to be great weather for that.
Very good.
Yes. What do you have for us?
Well, a lot coming up at 5 for starters. With Israel at war, the nation's mobilizing for a long fight. Volunteers are donating blood and setting up distribution centers to help war victims with food and clothing. Some American Israelis are heading back to that country to help. Plus, how some Joplin businesses have been affected by homeless vandals. And a Tyson employee talks about the issues and treatment while working at the poultry factory ahead of its closure. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.